Greetings and salutations. We are at day 11 of Marchesanus, and your girl finally has something to read for y'all again. I'm sorry it takes me this long, but writing is hard and I am so overworked. But this is fun, so I'm gonna keep doing it. Yeah. They meet again, unsurprisingly, in a market. It's a new city in a nation that made its name burning the first. The temple was not vacant in the midday sun, but its gods strolled about the square with no haste. It's a similar scene, but it had been decades since they saw that little nameless god, and the stall with chimes stood silent. The breeze was gentle, and it carried a gentle song from the storytellers gathered at the square. Citharas and lyres plucked and strummed and laced melodies and harmonies together as people danced and children laughed. The musicians were gathered in a loose cluster, and there was a huddle of children around a female figure. A sweet voice rang above the music. The song ended, and the crowd erupted into applause. The children dispersed to swarm back, arms full of flowers. The figure laughed, and oh, that's the voice that was singing. The scales were not unseen, but they wheeled themselves unnoticed as they approached. The aura of the female figure stretched across the whole square, a blanket of calm and reassurance. The figure rearranged their ringlets and placed a flower crown upon their head. The children wore crowns, necklaces, and bracelets of flowers, woven by learning hands. The figure was patient and smiled at every attempt, using their own small but nimble hands to correct mistakes. "Is it a habit of yours to dwell in the marketplace?" And that voice had been speaking for decades, but it was no less soft or cautious. "We could very well ask you the same." The children either didn't hear or didn't care about their teacher speaking to empty air. "We come to the market to observe and maintain the balance." Of course, the almighty scales know nothing but their duty. The nameless god looked up to meet their gazes. "Have your names changed with the language?" "Yes, as have the genders they assigned us." "Sounds a touch." They twisted two flowers together. "Complicated. I'm not sure if I want a name if it's to change every few centuries. I rather tend to get attached to things." They plucked a few more blossoms from their pile. "Who are you now?" "I am now V," said the female figure in black. "I am now more," said the male figure in white. "Do you like them?" They must have felt the confusion rising. "Your names. Do you like them?" "They are fitting." "Is that all?" They twisted another flower into their chain. "What does it matter if we like our names?" Their small hands froze. The aura blanketing the square thrashed. The citharas and lyres suddenly went out of tune. The dancing crowd stumbled into each other. One of the children began to cry. "It shouldn't matter, should it?" And in less than a breath, everything was calm once more. The nameless god took a deep lungful of air that they did not need. The music was beautiful. The dancers were graceful. The children were laughing. The scales shared a look and sat down at either side of the nameless god. "You never said why you are here." "I was invoked again. Summoned by one of the songs." Their fingers moved quickly. "It seems that even though the language has changed, it still carries my name. But now I am even farther from knowing." You were brought by the music. A child shoved a wreath forward and was awarded a smile and sweet words. But why did you choose to stay? The smile stayed on their lips, just more wistful than before. Because the smile stayed through a sigh. I love them. The children? Yes, but no. I love them all. They live and breathe and love so fiercely. They're so willing to fight for each other, even when they just want peace. Their aura brightened, and it seemed as if the world itself was smiling as brightly as the sun. How sweet. The scales looked to see what their friend had described. A giggle like wind chimes escaped the nameless god. How intriguing that the scales cannot read the people they rule. The voices of several mothers drew the children away. The dancers stopped to collect their things and go home. The musicians packed up their instruments. The nameless god stood. I hope to see you again. They turned, a crown of gray flowers in each hand. They held them out, an offering, a silent token of absolution given easily to the tacit apology, but the look in their eyes made the wreaths an apology for their outbursts, perhaps. The scales searched the round face above them and did what they had never done before. They bowed their heads. There was silence. The nameless figure holding on to a breath they didn't need. The crowns were light physically, but there was a weight settling on their shoulders. The weight of their words, the weight of their actions, the weight of the nameless god's gaze. When they looked up, newly adorned as no human had ever thought to adorn them, and there stood their friend, with a blush somewhere between pink and gold spreading from their cheeks, across their nose, and down to their collarbones. The scales felt warmth in their ears, and then they were alone in the marketplace. Evening prayers began. Okay, so I hope that was worth it, I guess. I mean, I'm really trying to pick up the pace, but like, SATs this Saturday, so that'll be fun. But, thank you for listening, and memento mori.